So my sister was telling me, because she owns a restaurant, and I was thinking, because you know how they always tell people in whatever field they're in, like, what's the craziest shit that's happened or you got to see. And I was actually there, but I was in the back, and this was a while ago. In the restaurant, an older guy came in. I think he came in with his wife. I'm not sure, but he came in and he had ordered food, whatever, and he was like eating midway. He's like, I gotta use the bathroom, and he went to the bathroom. Right, nothing odd. And then he was in there for a while, and then he came out, and he went to my sister and told her, sorry, because I made a mess in there. And my sister was like, oh, okay, no problems, whatever. She didn't know what to expect, but she's like, okay. But he was an older dude. So then they were like, my sister was like, oh, I think they waited because he came. After that, he came and he finished his plate. I think they waited to go in there. I'm not sure though. But I think they waited to go in the bathroom to clean.
After he was gone?
Yeah, and I think he was gone probably in a couple more minutes. I don't know. But they went in there to see it. And the person that worked for my sister at the time, she went in there. And she seen there and she was like, there's a mess everywhere. And she's like, come over here. She called my sister, come over here. Look, what is this? Come here. And my sister came. And my sister's like, that shit everywhere. There was shit on the walls, shit on the floor.
How the hell do you do that though?
Well, I'll get to that, right? Well, it's because it's the older guy. And apparently they have said that he has trouble controlling his bowels. Right? I don't know if he has issues or whatever. So that's why he said sorry, because he did damage in there. So my sister, her employee at the time, she cleaned it up. And I'm like, damn, to clean that. But I'm like, it's no shade on the old man. You know, if you can't control your bowels, it is what it is.
But it's just interesting to know how there's shit on the walls and shit on the floor and shit on the sink and shit on the ceiling. Like, how the hell does that even happen?
Well, I think
he's like, imagine let's say he was perfectly fine and he just went in there and just started flinging shit everywhere.
Nah, I think that would be a problem then. But like when it comes to this situation, when it's an older man who has troubles, you know, I don't think it's a big deal. But I mean, it's hard to say this is not funny, you know. And I'm not laughing at him. I'm just laughing at the situation. Because to walk into that, and there's shit everywhere, you're like, what the fuck happened here? And then the fact that he did that, said sorry, and then went back to eating. I think he might have went back to eating, and when he left, he said, I made a mess in there. And then that's why they went afterwards. I think so.
That would suck to not be able to control your pee or your shit. I always think about getting old. We're all gonna get old. If we don't die, like if we don't die early, like accidentally or drastically or whatever, everyone's gonna get old. And then people who are old are, you know how right now, like old people smell a certain way.
Well, not all of them.
Well, you just know when you come into like, and then they're super cleanly too. Like you get in an old person's car, it's clean. Shit always clean.
Oh, I don't know.
Like as far as like people old people who bring their car to get fixed, to get worked on, they always repair everything. They always fix it. They don't give a fuck. They always fix it, and their car on the inside, shit clean, and sometimes even on the outside, depending on how much they care about it. But usually inside is always clean. But I always be thinking like, oh, well, how are we gonna be when we're old?
But like, I think when you think about getting old, it's always a lot of negatives, because you're not gonna be able to do this or this or this or this. But I think, like people say, getting old is a blessing, because people don't make it to get old. So even having troubles or whatever, having pain. Because I remember, I don't remember where this was at, but I remember an old man told me that he had arthritis, and then he told me, I wish you get arthritis. And I was like, I took that as an insult. I was like, what the heck you talking about? But I didn't say anything. I was just like, I was a little stunned. I didn't know what to say. And he's like, and then he like smiled at me. He said, because then that would mean you lived as long as me. And I was like, oh, it's crazy how a one-liner, can change your whole perspective on what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
On what he's basically saying, I hope you live long.
Like, I hope you live long enough till your body starts having issues.
Yeah, like that's crazy. Because when you hear that as an insult.
Yeah, because it sounds like
you're wishing something bad upon me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one sentence after that changes the whole meaning of it.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy about words, huh?
Yeah.
If you look into languages, like people talk about how the English language is all fucked up. That's why so many people have trouble learning it.
And it's crazy. It's the most popular language in the world.
Yeah.
And yeah, they have 30,000 meanings for the same shit. And
seems like it doesn't make sense, huh? But because we learned this, and this is just what we know, it seems like it makes sense.
Yeah. Somehow it makes sense now that letters mean, like, you can have the same letters in the same orientation, and then something is in a different sentence, or fucking add one more letter and something's silent all of a sudden, or it has a different meaning.
For some reason, I've always envisioned in my head, like, if I get old, I just want to, like, imagine in a time where somehow I'm retired and there's nothing to do no more. It's just like basically live out the rest of your days and peacefully. I imagine myself waking up and making coffee and going outside, like for the morning, and having some type of like view. Nothing crazy. You don't have to be, but just sitting outside. And it just seems like there's a house down the street from us. They're always outside. You notice that?
On their porch?
The one that lives down there? Yeah, on their porch, they're always outside.
And they're deep, huh?
They're deep as a motherfucker all the time. And I'm like, how do you not, like, it seems like that's such an old thing. Nobody's outside no more. Everybody is just inside, especially in the winter. But they're always outside doing something. And then there's always an ambulance coming there. You notice that?
Yeah.
I've seen it multiple times. So I don't know what's going on over there.
Maybe they like to party.
I don't know. But
what's a good age though, old wise? Because I think so long as you can manage.
I thought you were going to say, what's a good age to die? I'm like, I mean, because I used to think of like, man, I don't want to get to a point where people have to take care of me because I don't want to be a burden to others.
I think that's everyone. I think everyone feels like that.
But it's like, you see people who are 100 and can still move. Yeah, you get I don't know how likely is that to be the case. Like, how many 100-year-old people need help?
Can't take care of themselves. I don't know. And I think genes have a big thing in your health.
But it seems weird because we've seen people, because I know people who smoke cigarettes all their life and still good. And that's crazy. And then you have people who don't smoke. That's why it's crazy. Some people don't do any drugs, don't do cigarettes, smoking, none of that shit. And then they still get like liver cancer or some type of cancer. And I think it's because people say like nowadays everything gives you cancer. So when somebody says, that gives you cancer, it's not surprising to me no more. Even if it's something, and why is that? Why is it so overlooked? Like we don't, like almost like I don't care. Because it seems like, it's not that I don't care, but it just seems like cancer's everywhere.
Yeah, you can't do anything. It's because everything is processed now. Everything. You can't enjoy anything unless you go straight super organic, and or you go and buy straight, or if you like raise chickens and shit, have your own farm animals, and you to raise them and kill them yourself type shit. But it seems like everything now is processed. And
you think you would get attached if we had a farm? Like, and say like we had 6 cows, 6 chickens, and 6 pigs. And then we're like, oh, it's a special event. We go pop this pig real quick.
Go get.
And if I'm like, you pop him.
Ricky, I have no, when it comes to killing,
You would pop them?
hell yeah. Especially because I knew how tasty it is.
And even though it was Jimmy
Fuck Jimmy.
or Jerry,
I'm gonna enjoy Jimmy tonight with some barbecue sauce. I when it comes to killing anything, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. So long as we're gonna eat them, I'm down to kill them.
no, I sounded a little weird at first.
Yeah, doesn't matter
I'm
what
down
it
to
is.
kill them.
It doesn't matter
Killing
what,
anything, kill
anything.
them.
Anything. I don't give a fuck what it is.
I think that's a big topic, a sensitive topic, because it seems like a lot of people don't want people to eat meat. And even though I understand it, I just think it's the harsh reality of life. But then people say that's just excuses. Like, if we can maintain a healthy diet through veggies and shit, but I think the problem is we can't.
I feel like you can do it.
With knowledge. That's what I mean.
feel like you can
You
do
have
it.
to be knowledgeable. You have to take, this is something you're going to have to learn, because I feel like if you don't learn it, you're going to be deficient. You're
Yep.
going to lack shit. Certain shit might happen to you.
It's more work.
It's unhealthy.
I feel like people say it's real easy, it's accessible, it's not expensive, and I believe that there's a way to do it that would be not as expensive. It would be tasty.
And for sure there would be a lot healthier, because like what I told you, like, and this is not to be mean, but it's like there's a lot of people getting fat. And I see it happening in real time. And it's crazy to me because it makes me think of like, whoa, am I going to get fat? Because it's like, and it's not that, because I try to remove my ego and my pride, because it's like, I already know my ego will attack that shit full on if needed. But it's like, the fact that everybody is like falling down this hole, and because I don't think that I'm better than anybody, I'm like, I could fall in that hole too. And that's why I'm like, so it's clearly that there's a pattern here. A lot of people are getting big. So I'm like, why is that? Is it just lack of exercise? Is it like, because I wouldn't say I eat good either. I wouldn't say I have a good diet. So what is it then?
You think that it's one of those things like aging, or it just happens to everyone? That's what you're thinking?
Because I remember growing up, everybody would say, oh, like, wait till you get 20s. In your mid-20s, you're going to get fat. Watch. And then we're here. And it's like, what's up? And it's still not there. So they're like, what, wait? And some people say, wait till you have children. And I'm like, why do I have to? What's going to change? I understand as you get older, your metabolism is going to go slower. And it's for sure going to be harder to keep your body in shape. But I'm not out here trying to be saying I'm going to have a six-pack. I'm just saying you shouldn't gain 150 pounds, 100 pounds than your average, especially in a year or two. That's unhealthy. So why is that? Is it because people are not cooking at home?
Food must be getting tastier.
You think so?
No, I feel like people build bad habits. And it's so easy to start bad habits as far as eating. When people start eating breakfast consistently, people are like, this most important meal of the day. And I'm like, no,
I don't
not.
think breakfast is bad though. I just think it's just a level of control.
When I see people, the amount of people that I see every day eating early in the morning, I'm like, oh, it's normal. It's just a normal thing to just eat in the morning. But it's not, I don't think it's like, I guess depending on what you're eating, but for the most part, what people are eating is high sugar, high fat, high carb meals, right? In the morning. And you just woke up.
Yeah.
And for me, it's off. It's not.
But it's kind of the same though. I mean, I don't eat food, but the first thing I do is drink coffee. And it's a sugary coffee. And I already know that's bad, because I know you should wake up and drink water. And sometimes I'll drink a water to prepare me for the coffee. But I mean, I already know that's unhealthy. But I also thought about like, you gotta do a little bit of unhealthy, huh? Because that's just life if you want to enjoy it. Like, I don't think we should live so fucking strict where you can't enjoy your life because
without purpose.
Yeah, but I don't think you should damage yourself either.
Yeah, there's always a balance to everything, but you should enjoy what you like within a certain limit.
And it seems like there's a real problem with overeating, huh?
Yeah, because we're so accustomed to eating until we're stuffed. The humans are so, you got to eat until your body says like, oh.
Well, this is what I was wondering, because is it just the US? Because we haven't been to a lot of countries. So I wonder if we go to other countries and see how things are. Because America, I think like a huge percentage of America is obese, right? I think it's the number one? Am I wrong?
It would have 1 or 2.
So that means we got good ass food. Or motherfuckers putting too much salt on everything.
No, I mean, we do have good ass food, but I don't think that's solely the thing. I think you have access to a variety of food that is cheap and it tastes
But is
decent.
it though? That shit's expensive. It seems like food's expensive.
Now, if you go to a grocery store, but you go to McDonald's, how much money, how much food can you get for $10 at McDonald's, you think? As far as calorie wise, high calorie.
You can get a lot of high calorie shit.
Like $10 will get you like two days worth of calories.
Because you can get a meal, and like that meal, it's enough just to get you full. But if you count the calories, it's past your 2,000.
Yeah.
In just one meal. Then you still have to eat.
Again.
Yeah, again and again.
Yeah. So people be eating like 3 times more sometimes. I think it's healthy to tell yourself no, to be hungry. I think it's healthy. And I feel
that's like what? That's like discipline, but also what is it? When you when you want something, yeah, you tell yourself no.
No.
That's discipline, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, because you're battling against your wants. Your body wants something. And I being hungry is sometimes like it's like when you go to the gym and you come out and you're all sore. Who likes to be sore, right? But I like to be sore. When you come out and you feel all sore the next day and shit, it feels rewarding to know you put in some work.
Yeah, for some reason there's a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah,
I've always felt that. When you do something, when you know you did something, you feel better for some reason.
So whenever we fast for the 24 or 30 hours, whatever we'd be doing, after you do it, it's gay. It sucks when we do it, but after you do it, you're like, oh, it feels good. Like to be able to tell yourself, like, my body, it doesn't, because it's tempting. Sometimes it is tempting when you're looking at food and you're like, fuck, I'm hungry. Yeah. And your stomach is just growling all damn day, but you just chug water.
I know, but if there's people, right? You think there's people who don't feel hunger? You have to feel hunger because that initiates you wanting to eat, but like not long term. And they're eating, it seems like they're eating heavy. It seems like you should have one heavy meal a day.
Oh, you're saying if people don't like to wait until they're hungry.
Is full.
Yeah, people snack during the day, but there is people 100% that don't experience hunger because they're constantly always eating.
Yeah, and that's
all
crazy,
the time.
Because I remember I've been at people's houses and they're like, "You want to eat?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm good." And they're like, "You sure? You've been here a while. You're not hungry?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not hungry. I ate before I came." And they're like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I thought you would want to eat or something. And I was like, I mean, why eat if I'm not hungry? And she's like, she laughed and she's like, I wish we all were like that. Like, because, everybody else wants to eat.
It's because eating is like a pastime.
But eating, like, I can't deny that food is one of the most amazing shit in life. I can't deny that. So that's why when people have problems with it, I understand it because it's hella good. But it's like, I don't understand overeating, meaning your stomach is full and you're like, let me cramp more in there. Like, I don't understand that. But eating, I understand, like, you craving shit, you wanting shit. But overeating, it seems like, I don't understand that because your body's saying, hey, I'm full. And you're like, no, you're full when I say you're full. I'm like, nah, that's crazy.
I mean, that I think that has its, shit like that has its moments where it's okay, where you're stuffed.
Yeah, like Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
there's certain days where you're okay, let loose.
Yeah,
but it can't be every day. It can't be multiple times a week. And it's like there's a lot of people who rely on fast food, but I think a lot of things we're blessed too because some people don't have somebody who can cook for them. So like imagine you living by yourself. You don't have nobody cooking for you, so you don't have food at the house. What are you gonna do when you get home?
My shit would be hella plain. I'd be eating a bunch of plain shit, and I would because I'm always convenient.
No, but would that lead you to fast food more?
It probably would, but it would probably lead me to what's it called when you meal prep
and shit?
That's probably what it, or I would pay for a service to come to send me food to the house because I would value convenience more so my time. I'll value it more than me. I probably would cook here and there because that's what you would have to do it because I like tasty shit. And you never feel like it's same thing with fast food. It has its moments, but I can't just go to eat at McDonald's and go and eat at Taco Bell and all this. I don't feel good. It is not. Yeah. And when you eat it, it's I always have a mentality of, is this worth it? Like for the damage that this shit's doing to my body, right? The high calorie input, the grogginess is gonna make me feel, and for the satisfaction of me eating it, if the satisfaction overlaps all that other shit, then fuck it. But if it doesn't, you know how you go to it and you're like, I'm not feeling that. I don't want this. I don't want this greasy shit.
Yeah, like I don't like wasting food, but sometimes when I don't want it, it's like, why am I gonna put this in my body?
Yeah.
So I have to like dump out the soda. I have to because it's like, okay, am I wasting it? Yeah, but I'd rather waste it than to ingest it. You know, and when I know I don't, especially when I don't want it.
Yeah.
Like I don't want it. Like I felt like I grew out of bad habits because I used to drink a lot of soda. Remember when I was a kid? Soda all the time. And nobody would say anything. Drink soda all the time. We would have competitions. So who could drink the most soda? And I'm like, that's just a bad thing. And luckily when you're young, your body's healthy and can tolerate more of that shit. But as you get older, you can't be a soda master.
No.
We have that thing, a soda master. Who's the champion nowadays? It had to be Connor, which is our nephew.
And Connor he be waking up.
Kids love soda.
Yeah.
They love soda. And that's why I try not to introduce soda to them as when they're coming up because they get hooked. That shit's a drug.
Yeah.
And especially I be telling them like, hey, this shit has caffeine in it. And I don't know if people realize that. It has like Pepsi. There's certain ones that don't like Sprite. But if they have caffeine, that means you're giving your kid caffeine. And caffeine is known to get people addicted. We're all addicted. America's addicted to caffeine. So it's like, and you're getting your baby addicted to something right away. And that's why they want it. And there's also like studies been shown that if you give your baby soda, they're more likely to have diabetes, more likely to have these problems as they get older. And I have like, there has to be some truth to that.
Yeah, because I mean, it is an issue. It's probably one of those things that you don't really realize because no one's informed. I think nowadays with internet, all you got to do is research. And I don't think parents back in the day they couldn't just research stuff. You needed to go to the library and shit. And because nowadays everything's so readily available as far as knowledge, now you can see with the effects of what soda, caffeine, all that shit does. But you see these kids, they wake up, they don't even brush their teeth. They straight to the soda.
Yeah.
And they start drinking soda. I'm thirsty.
And then you give them water. No,
I want soda.
Juice or whatever.
Yeah, no, it probably is a bad thing for kids to be introduced to soda at such a young age. Because then that's all they want. And they don't even be brushing good every day.
And then
just fuck up their teeth.
Have you seen like, back in the day, I don't know when it was, if it was the 80s or the 90s, I don't know, but parents would give their kids cocaine. You know that? They would like sprinkle it on their cereal because it would give them energy. So before they would go to school, they're like, have some cocaine. Back then, they didn't know how bad it was.
It probably had to be the 50s.
So they were like, give them some cocaine.
And where did you get cocaine at?
I don't know how that shit went down, but apparently they were putting it in the kids' cereal. So I think if we go through like, our genes have drugs in them, huh? Our DNA, don't matter. Somebody far back was a junkie. Somebody far back was doing drugs. So it feels like You think humans, has drugs had a part in evolution?
Maybe. I mean, people would say that the burning bush, that whole Moses and the burning bush, it was the marijuana plant or something. And then it had him hallucinating after all the smoke.
But you don't hallucinate from marijuana.
Or had him seeing things. I thought when you smoke weed, what's it do to you?
You don't hallucinate.
You don't.
It's how I don't know how to describe it. I think it's like it kind of just like mellows you out.
But you don't see nothing.
You don't see anything now. One thing
you don't hear shit.
One thing I did notice is things sound better. So like music sounds better. Another thing is that things get brighter for me. Like, and not everything. I'm saying like especially in the wintertime where snow is so bright, it seems like it got brighter. But as far as like seeing shit, and you never see it. I never seen shit from that.
What about in your head?
What do you mean?
You know how you see stuff in your head? Like you close your eyes, you see stuff?
No, I've never seen anything.
I don't know then. But that's what people say. If he was higher than a mug, he was just imagining things. I don't know. But it probably does. Cocaine. I mean, if you introduce cocaine to young kids, motherfuckers, they were on go mode after they had their cereal. They couldn't wait for that cereal in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I wonder, like...
I want a cereal for dinner, motherfucker. Sprinkle extra on that shit. Nowadays, everything kills you now. You do it. Shit has a 30% chance of death.
It seems like you see how it seems like the times has changed as far as like how we view drugs, because I remember growing up, if you were doing drugs, you were a junkie, and it was like it was an insult to if you were a drug user. You were looked down upon if you were a drug user. And now everybody's doing drugs. Everybody's scratching and shit, trying to do drugs. So I'm like, it's become acceptable / cool if you do drugs. When back then, that shit you would get looked down upon.
Who you're talking about like in the early 2000s?
Talking about even us growing up.
Because like in the 70s, everybody did it. In the 80s and the 90s, it seemed like everybody was doing that shit.
I'm saying, I know they were doing drugs. I'm saying it was never looked like a cool thing until now. Now this shit's popping. Now everybody wants to do drugs. Sure, everybody was doing drugs as children, but it was never championed like it is now. You don't think so? You think it's always been the same?
I just never paid attention to it. I have no idea. I have no idea as far as like, because I've always heard people were doing this and people were doing that and gatherings and then usually people who did cocaine were people who had money. So it was
it's like if you sell drugs, right? If you're a gang or a group or a clique and you sell drugs, it's one thing. As horrible as it is, right? You're selling drugs. But if the group itself, because starts using this shit, it's that term of don't get high in your own supply type shit. It's like, what the fuck's going on with y'all?
You know, you're not looked at as more serious?
No. It just seems like it's yeah. You
can't be taken seriously. You're a drug addict.
There's no motherfucker who trusts junkies. And in the streets, we don't trust nobody who does drugs. I don't definitely trust anybody who does drugs.
Oh yeah, because any addiction is it's a liability. If you're addicted to anything,
it's hard enough to trust sober motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Let alone people who have who need a fix. So that's a problem. Like I said that
steal from their mama.
I said that. Yeah, I said that in Mel. Said I used to have friends. We were more like a crew. We sold drugs, but how we start using them too. And now it's like that's real. And I would never, because I know people who do drugs, who are my friends and close to me. And I remember like it was like, without saying names, but it was like such a disappointment because it was like, what are you doing? when you know you don't take it that far. It seems like if you want to do some drugs, I don't know why it shouldn't be acceptable, but it's always acceptable if you just drink or you smoke. And smoking is already drawing the line, especially because we're Mexican. But going beyond that, it's a problem.
Like, what are the steps? So how far can you go?
What do you mean?
Because like,
what's the furthest?
Because you said drinking, right? Smoking.
I think because people have seen people use those drugs and still be them. And when you use harder drugs, it seems like you're not you no more. You become something else. You get lost.
So let's say if they're doing, let's say cocaine. How far gone are you? 1 to 10.
How far gone are you? I think it would depend on how you're using it. Is it a little bit? Is it a lot? Are you gone on it? Is it a daily thing? Is it a multi-daily thing where you're doing it multiple times a day?
And will you sell your mama for it? It's like
damn,
that.
That's crazy.
Because when I think of drugs, hardcore drugs, I'm thinking needles. You're too far gone. You're unhelpable.
Nah, I don't think so. I think when you think of like people say it's crazy because people be saying heroin is the best feeling in the world. That you talk to these people who do heroin and they're like, it's worth it. Like the feeling it gives you. And I'm like, I don't, even if it is the best feeling in the world, there's too much consequence with that.
You're too far gone.
Well,
heroin?
The whole thing, because there's like, if it seems like drugs have always had a negative thing attached to it. But like now that you think about it, how DMT and people talking about how it can expand your mind and shrooms and shit like that. I mean, who knows if there's any truth to that? But it just seems like I don't think people would ever. There's certain people who are never gonna understand that. If you tell them I'm expanding my mind, they're gonna be like, this motherfucker's a junkie. Like they're not gonna see it how you see it. And it's just a question is if you can use drugs to your benefit by somehow activating something in your brain that only gets activated when you use this drug. And that's interesting. But because we don't know, what if it was already like proven by science that when you take shrooms at a high amount, it does something to your brain that lets you access something that you normally can't?
See, then it'd be I don't know, it'd be a different thing, huh? It'd be a different, like, they would need to figure out what, because if they can separate it how they do chemically to like weed and make CBD and all that shit, and they can separate the shrooms and give you the focus part and the shit that activates without any of the side effects.
They do certain shit like that. I think they do that.
With shrooms?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see,
I think I don't know shit about shit.
Well, then it'd be interesting because now there's like all pro, no negatives, but there's always negatives to everything. But it's interesting. Anything that makes you, that it's a perk, that gives you some type of perk as far as like enhance your brain in a certain, everything positive, no negatives, but it seemed too good to be true. But heroin seemed like too far. Crack seemed like too far. Meth, what else? I don't know what else.
Well, now they doing fentanyl. They doing bath salts.
Pills.
They snorting shit. They're inhaling O2 cans. You ever seen people do that?
I've heard like certain paint markers.
There's I don't know what it is. There's this weird thing that you attach a CO2 thing to it, and then they hit that shit hella hard.
Like an inhaler type?
Yeah, I seen it. I'm like, damn, these people are lost. Like you said, like far gone. Because there was this video of a girl going crazy, and she was doing everything and everything. She was smoking weed, right? Smoking this, had that CO2 shit, hitting that shit hard as shit. Pass me the bottle, doom, 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 doom. Back to the blunt, boom, 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 boom. Back to the CO2, hit the CO2 like a motherfucker multiple times. She like this, she all fucked up. And I'm like, when I see that to that extent, it just makes me think like I'm sorry for you because it seems like you don't have a good life.
It doesn't seem like your life's in a good spot.
Yeah, because drugs is linked to escaping, huh? It's an escape. And you want to go so far to where you almost die. That's why when I hear so many people die from drug overdoses, it's like it's crazy because it's like you killed yourself. Why? Like I don't understand.
For what feeling? You think the feeling of that, the risk of that feeling is not worth you almost dying?
Yeah, and it's like it's such a sad thing because it's like they didn't know they were gonna die, but yet you're playing constantly with these drugs, and I feel like it's such a bad thing to have linked to you. To hear, oh, he died from an overdose.
And if you're
It's
saying
like so
that
bad.
image, it
Yeah,
paints
yeah,
a bad
like-
image,
Well, I mean,
or like it taints your name or your reputation or something.
I just feel like it shouldn't. It's not good. It's not a good look when you hear you died from an overdose, and yeah, it's like kind of like suicide, but it's an unintentional suicide.
Or was it?
Well, there's some people who try to and then don't. There's some soldiers out here who be taking shit they shouldn't be
Because
taking,
they want to die,
and then they don't die.
And they're like, fuck.
And then that's a weird thing within itself.
Ate a bunch of gummies. A lot of fucking vitamin gummies.
But a lot of times when I see like it's a sad ass thing when you see documentaries or about people's lives before they kill themselves, and it's to see them like it just seems like because I think everything is perspective, and if you have to start your day off with a positive, but people are just so negative. The idea to me to ever in any point in my life to kill myself is like ludicrous.
I know.
Would never happen. I would never do it, no matter how hard it got. I would never do it.
Yeah.
It's one thing, like, yeah, no matter how shit it is, it's just I just can't do it. Or like I remember how Red said, I would kill myself if I wasn't a bitch. And I was like, damn, like that's he's like, I couldn't go through with it.
It's more than just being a bitch.
But to me, yeah, it's not.
I think it's not about being a bitch because I know if I wanted to, I would. If I wanted to.
I think it's the whole perspective of how we view life. I know you need me.
Yeah.
You know you need me.
But it's
how is that? The other way around.
It's such a shit slap to myself, and to that means for me to say it's done. It means that there's nothing life can offer me. But even then, like,
it's not about me. That's why I say, like, it's about how I know if I'm gone, if I leave intentionally, the impact that we leave upon others, it's like it's such a huge negative.
But
and
people
it leads
will say,
to selfish. That's selfish.
That's hella selfish.
And my whole perspective in life, this is my opinion. The way I live life is to please the ones around me, not to please them. That's the wrong word. It's to
elevate.
To help them, to do whatever I can. If there's something I can help you with, I'm going to do it. It's not to put you under stress. Like, it's not to make you cry over me. It's not to put more hurt in your life. It's to make everything better if I can. Not to hurt you. That's the whole, I'm not selfish. So that's why I don't live for me. I live for everybody else.
People will say, I don't have nobody. Nobody wants me type shit, right? And I'm like,
I don't think that's true though. But
let's say they say somebody doesn't have nobody.
Well, I think the realistic shit is people don't know what you're going through.
But it doesn't matter. People are always like, feel bad for me. That's bitch shit. Don't feel bad for you're in your whatever happened, right? Whatever circumstances led you to whatever you're at, your current point in life. There's only up. If you're at the bottom, if you're at the gutter, if you're a shit, if you don't have no money, if you ain't got no bitches, if you ain't got no nothing, if you ain't got shit, there's only up. This shit only, how much is it gonna get worse? Anything your worse just cements your position. Like what? There's always hope.
That's a give up.
Yeah, that
when you give up,
that's like, bitch. That's what I said. Like the road is gonna be hard. But that should be like, you should be like, yeah, I'm a bad motherfucker, and you're gonna see me in 5 years, and where I was to where I am, it's gonna be you're not gonna believe me.
It's just perspective. Because if you're in a car and you run out of gas and you're stranded, that's the equivalent of just saying, I'm just going to stand here.
Fuck it.
And the people who pass by feel bad for me. Give me gas. Give me something. Instead of being, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to walk to the nearest town. Where is it? I don't even know where it's at. And there's that one quote, are you willing to run when the destination is unknown? And I'm like, that's tight. And it's all these analogies I've doing out the years of people are afraid to hop on the boat because they don't know if there's land over there on some Ragnar shit. And you have to be that motherfucker that says, you know what? We're going to find out through me. Like, I'm going to go. And a lot of people follow that road because that safety net. I see so many people in debt and so many people with hella like stress. And it was like, it doesn't seem like that's how life should be. And it's all because of decisions you made. But it's not all your fault. It is your fault. But it seems like there's so much influence in your life though. Because if your parents are like, go to college, even though you don't want to go to college, and now you're in debt a fuck ton, and you got to pay that shit off.
Yeah, and people always say don't listen. They say they don't mean no disrespect, but they say don't listen to people who are not living lives that you want to be living. So if somebody's in debt, they're not making a lot of money, in debt like a motherfucker, sad like a motherfucker, and if you don't want to switch lives with them, then don't listen to them.
Yeah, but
I understand that that people have the perspective of if you go to college, it's guaranteed that you're gonna be successful in life. But that's no longer the way anymore. I don't think it ever was the way, but now it's definitively not the way. I think certain career paths, you have to go to school. You have to, like for doctors and shit, you have to.
Yeah, you have.
You can't just YouTube video and become a doctor. Yeah. You have to have, as you should, because you can't. I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want to go to surgery and have a YouTube motherfucker.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been doing side jobs and shit.
I mean, that works for certain shit though. Just not when it comes to your life.
Yeah. But nowadays, I feel like if you're a hardworking motherfucker and you're gonna actually give it your 100% and dedicate your shit to something, there's no way you lose. I feel like there's no way you lose. If you're gonna work your ass off, there's no way you lose.
But what I realize is it's all an illusion. I feel like because you see people, right, and you see them have a nice car, you see them have a nice house, you see them have all this shit, but then they're broke, and all they do is work. And then you're like, okay, do I want to switch lives with them? No, I don't want to switch. Yeah, you have all this material shit, but when you have this big ass house and you can't even live in it, you can't enjoy it. Like, what's the point? That's what I would tell my dad all the time. When my dad was working crazy hours, I'm like, what's the point? Yeah, you have all this money, but when you don't have time to spend it, you can't enjoy it. Even if you buy a house, you buy a car, you buy something, but you're not around to even drive the motherfucker. What's the point in that? I don't see the point in that. It's almost better to be a little bit broker and have a shittier car, but at least you get to fucking enjoy your life.
Yeah, there's a balance to that. There has to be a balance to that. But I think it depends on what the end goal is, and if this is just forever thing, that's where there's an issue. If you're gonna do it for 5 years and just work and just don't be home but you're not spending it, because people get a bump in pay, and automatically they want shit. Money starts flying, and I think I 1,000,000% would rather have money in my pocket than have something flashy. I've never been a flashy dude, and if the one thing that it's unacceptable is when you're like, oh, I want something and you don't got it. Crave something food wise, fuck, and count your money.
You can't.
I can't get it. When it comes to food specifically too, if I want something food wise and I can't get it because I'm fucking broke, that's unacceptable. So my money, if I'm not spending my money wisely, then so.
But I think it's to each their own though, because when I think about it, I'm like, if somebody finds joy or happiness in that, if they're like, yeah, I have all this shit, and I just care about my image. I don't give a fuck. That makes me happy. then I guess who am I to say anything? And it is not, I'm not talking like you should listen to me. I don't know shit. I'm just saying, for my opinion on how I want to live, it's not like that. I always knew it. I always knew I didn't want to live like that. It seems like it's a road I already seen. I seen too many people there. And if you talk to these people, they would tell you, I fucked up. Oh, this happened too early for me. I got married too early. I did this. I was in a rush too quickly. But the thing about me is I live and I don't regret. Well, I'm starting to do that. I don't regret. So no matter what, if I wait too long to get married, if I wait too long for things to happen, I know that I'm in control. If I win, I win. And if I lose, I lose. And I ain't no bitch. I'm a man up to whatever it is. As it comes. I'm not going to complain. I should have done this.
Feel sorry for me.
I should have done this when I was this or whatever. I mean, I would give people advice if I feel I made a mistake. But I just think it's hard when everybody wants their own shit. Everybody has their own goals. So I can't tell motherfuckers anything. People be taking life way too seriously. And that's what I've been learning not to. Life is fun. Life is good when you drop everything. When you don't give a fuck. I noticed that my life's gotten better by my way of thinking. It's just like, who cares? Everything's not a jab at me. Even if somebody insults me, it doesn't hurt me like where I feel I need to say something back. And I was watching, I watched the guy today on TikTok, and he was doing like first person game. I don't know what it's called. But he goes in real life and just goes to random locations and acts like he belongs there. And he be telling people, I'm looking for a quest to level up. He's playing like if he's in a game, going everywhere on his own. And it's crazy the amount of places he gets into. And he's like more loot and he's just taking shit. And it seems like, I was like, this is the most funniest shit ever. And it's so, I don't know what's the word for it. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just it's fun. Even though I feel like he's trespassing, he I don't know if he's really taking shit, but he'd be grabbing shit and going to places, and then he'll just say random shit. And I'm like, this is how this dude living life. That's how you should. He's like, everybody's NPCs, and like that's crazy when you feel like that. He just goes up, like he sees construction workers. He wants to know what's inside. He'll just walk in that motherfucker. Say hi to people, and it reminds me of Alex Jones. Remember what we were talking about? If you act like you belong, people just assume you do. And I'm like, damn. And every time I see that, it makes me think security. I'm like, damn, if this was a crazy motherfucker, he could just come in here and do whatever he wants. And nobody would even know. And that's crazy. But
to just walk into places and just start taking shit, more loot. That's funny.
And he be asking people, and I just came across him recently, and I think he's gonna get big. This is him right here. He got 69,000. He's already big, but
What's going on?
That's a police officer.
Just on a run.
I don't know. I haven't seen this one.
What's the deal with the Walmart? They kicked me out. They didn't want me there. I know that, but what were you doing to make them want to kick you out?
This is a long video. Hold
I
on.
have a mobility scooter.
Let's go to the funny ones.
Hank Frassel. He should be expecting me. Edward Jones.
There's no one here. No. There's no one in this office.
Oh.
He's just sitting in a random office and
I
shit.
think that there might be one.
And look, he's always like that, walking
Because
around.
why?
I guess because like in a video game.
He sees his hands. How you always see his hands?
Yeah. So he's always like
my
that.
experience on my first day, he said.
Hold on, let's stop a minute. You're in the complete wrong building, so if you could delete all of that right there in our building that you just videotaped.
Oh, okay.
No, right in front of me, please.
That's a violation of my rights. I'm trying to make a good Let's Play.
What the hell?
Like when somebody tells you, delete that right in front of me, or tells you to do something, as if you're somebody who like try to enforce shit upon you. I'm like,
It's just people feel like they have authority. And it's like people listen to authority though.
That's what I was leading to.
Yeah.
They do it because it works.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's like
oh shit.
Yeah, if somebody
I'm gonna
tells
get in
you,
trouble.
if you're in a building, and I've done it too. And if you're in a building and a motherfucker just comes to you and says, you can't be up here. You gotta go downstairs. You would be like, you just, okay. And you go downstairs. But sometimes you need that, like, I ain't going nowhere, bro. I gotta come in here. I don't care what you're going through. I gotta get in here. You know, I don't care what you're up to. And it's like, it just seems like fighting back sometimes. It just, you don't want to cause issues. You don't want to cause problems. But sometimes you're letting people that don't have no rights to just do something to you or to tell you to do something.
Yeah, no, fuck him. He just wandering
Like
a building.
He's just wandering in the building. At the worst case scenario, what? He's just trespassing.
He goes to jail. First, I'm just bullshit.
Oh, it's right here. I found it.
So what purpose do you need? No, that's not it for James either.
Look, and he has that little that compass or whatever that called. That
Oh, yeah.
detector. And it's funny because
Because he's got the red mark for like
yeah,
enemy.
watch as this progresses. Watch.
Oh no. Oh no.
Look at the red dots now. More people are coming at him.
Excuse me.
Whoa! Why are you chasing me? Whoa! Whoa! No, it's a prank. Whoa!
No, you need to stay right here. No, excuse me, sir. You're not leaving. You're not leaving.
I feel so scared
No,
for my safety.
you're not leaving. You're not leaving.
People be taking their jobs hella serious.
I know. Why would they get it? Why would you get in his face?
You can't touch me, please.
Excuse me.
You're not letting me leave. You're not letting me leave.
Sorry. Excuse me. Can you please?
So basically, held me hostage.
Because
Yeah.
you're videotaping people's offices. Excuse
Stop
me.
touching me. I'm not
Sorry,
trying
but
to.
you're videotaping people's offices. So you need to stay.
You need to
Kidnapping.
stay.
I'm trying to leave. This lady's crazy.
Excuse me.
And you can't be forceful because then they're like, oh, he broke my leg.
No, you're videotaping.
He
But
attacked me.
But she's breaking the law too. If he's
Yeah, you-
breaking the law for trespassing,
Yeah, you can't
in
just
order
keep him there.
why her to trespass somebody, you have to warn them, don't you? You have
They-
to tell them, hey, you have to leave.
Yeah,
And
and
then when you refuse to leave, that's when it becomes
it's
a
an issue.
trespass.
Yeah,
But isn't it? Can you trespass somebody without that?
Yeah, but there's the.
I think if you're just randomly in somewhere, you don't.
yeah,
belong.
I mean, I guess it also depends on the situation because you might trespass. You might
Accidentally?
accidentally, and then if they tell you to leave, and then you're like, oh, if you leave, but if you just wandering, right, nobody tells you shit, and then you're like, oh well, I thought I can be here. Then it's like, what do you do? It's like there's a little line there, where like, what the fuck you do? But if he's trying to leave, why would you keep him there?
That's what I'm saying.
That's
You're
weird.
breaking the law there, right?
There's
Because
like-
isn't that holding them hostage?
Because they
now?
feel like he should go to jail.
so they keep you.
So they
there.
want you to go to jail. So they want to keep you there.
But you can't do that. You just gotta say it was this man with this description and then leave it to the police.
Yeah. Everybody wants to be what's it called?
Fucking cop.
Everybody wants to be a hero.
Yeah, but it's not a smart move.
No.
As an employee, let him leave. If he's a crazy dude and
Why?
you
What
hold
does it
him
matter?
hostage and
Yeah.
then he gets real on you, it's like just let him go.
Why?
For what?
But
What do you do?
What? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
He
what,
recorded. There's
like-
cameras in there anyway.
like what? Are you saving the world? Like, is the world online? Like, if the world was on the line and
You stop people when they're doing something crazy like stealing a baby.
yeah,
You fuck the cops. By the time
Yeah.
the cops come, they might not be here.
yeah,
So you know what? You're not leaving, bro. If he's like this, you're not leaving, bro. Like, but when all he has is,
but if
video
he had a
footage-
baby, they would have left him. They would have let him go. If
oh,
this
they would let him
motherfucker-
go if
yeah.
he had a hammer on him. Because if he had a hammer,
No,
on him,
no hammer. He just had a baby. This motherfucker took a person. They wouldn't have done
Oh, yeah,
nothing.
the
They would've been
majority
like-
of motherfuckers wouldn't do nothing
Yeah.
except for that person's mom or that
Yeah.
kid's. Yeah,
But
'Cause
these
then-
motherfuckers wouldn't have done shit.
yeah.
If it wasn't
the
anything
only one
relative,
is something because they see. That's how we pick and choose, huh?
Yeah.
Because they don't see a danger in him.
this is not a threat.
It's not a threat. So they're like, okay, let's have our way with him.
We're gonna make sure he go to jail because he's doing something he's not supposed to be doing.
Just because you don't want to be on camera.
Yeah.
But you're in, oh no, you're not. I was gonna say you're in public. No, you're not. You're in a private building. But I mean, you have to leave that up to the cops though.
Do you think it's like Karen, and Karen?
I mean, it's weird because think about it. If you own a building and somebody's roaming through there recording shit, I mean,
I would just like if it's my building, right? I would be like, all right, you gotta leave. But I wouldn't give a fuck. Record all you want. I don't give a fuck. What is it gonna do? Is it gonna hurt me in any
no,
way?
but I mean, I think that's different. It's more different when that's your building. You know, if you have personal documents in your building, that's different. But when you're in a business building,
But what can he do?
I mean,
like,
he
what
can still
is
take
he gonna
shit that-
record? Like, what is out and about that he can
I don't know.
record?
Maybe they're
that's like, oh shit.
maybe they're like he recording documents
But
and.
Those documents shouldn't be out if they don't need to be recorded.
But
right?
why wouldn't they if they're private in a private office? I mean, if
What type of documents though? And why would you have documents out with nobody around?
But
and what documents did he actually get though?
No, I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying, okay, if they did, why should one have to take security when in a safe space?
What are you talking about?
Because you're saying why the documents out?
Okay, let's say there were documents out that were like super private information, whatever the fuck. I'm not gonna say, oh, now it's my job to enforce that this motherfucker deletes it. And
So that's
like,
what I'm saying. Okay, so let's
there's-
just simplify. Do they have the right to tell him delete your footage?
I feel they have the right to tell him that, but I don't think they have the right to enforce that.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Because you can tell them whatever the fuck they want. It's fine. But when
The police enforce.
Yeah, the police
Allow
is
the
a
police
different
to
thing. Because
enforce
you can't, if these motherfuckers say whatever, you got to abide. Otherwise, you're going to jail.
You think the police would go get it though? I don't think so.
It depends on I think it depends on the cop. 'Cause some cops will be like,
we're gonna get it, huh? We got nothing
yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go get that footage, man.
And especially when they feel like you're not, like even though you're practicing your rights, right? If they feel like, oh, you're not following my rules,
yeah.
like, oh, you're going to
Or
jail.
they try to make
motherfucker.
themselves look.
I got
mighty,
power,
huh? Yeah.
motherfucker. You can't say no to me.
But he just takes off. He's like another exit, and he takes off running.
That escalated insanely quickly.
But
This
this
dude really
dude's
don't.
funny though. This dude's really funny though.
He doesn't really want to get in trouble though either, huh? Because he started panicking like, oh, but it's like, I don't know. He just be doing that to everywhere.
Yeah, he just be walking into random places. I was trying to find the one. Oh, here, look. I snuck into a film set.
Film crew only, that's us.
He's like, that's me. And he be going through shit.
Looks like a film set. What's going on here?
That's crazy that if you just walk into anywhere with confidence, like you're supposed to be there, they're filming a commercial and he just walks in. Look, you'll see this. He just made it to the back.
Are they recording everything there?
Yeah, they're recording the commercial by the pool. Watch.
Maybe it's happening here at the pool. Whoa.
Nobody says shit to him.
Nobody's saying shit. Especially you walk around like this,
There's an event going on or
with his hand out.
Yeah, everybody's doing their thing though, huh? Not paying attention to this motherfucker.
I mean, it makes sense, huh? Because how do you know he doesn't belong there? And if he belongs there,
Like-
you go up to him like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah,
And then he does belong there and he's high authority there.
maybe a lot of these people are like, they don't see, all these people don't know each other.
Yeah, so they're just like, if you're here,
So
you
they-
must have got
yeah, you
invited.
just show up and
Yeah.
you just got a job to do and they're just doing their job.
What kind of dungeon is this? It's like a quest?
See, this guy grabbed him, right?
Oh, I was just trying to use the pool. No worries.
So that dude knows he's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, yeah.
This way?
And look what he says, though, because he just made it good for him.
We just, we can't have anybody Oh.
Who's in the floor now? Oh, that's all.
Oh, sorry. I went over to the pool.
He's a guest. Oh, I do apologize. I did not think it was for you guys.
Oh, it's all good.
Sorry, yeah. I just wanted to make sure. Oh, I got you. No problem at all.
See, he tells him he's a guest, so now he's good, huh? Because this guy's already convinced. So now he can just do whatever the fuck he wants because this guy just confirmed that he's a guest. So now he knows, oh, this guy told me he's a guest.
This still goes on?
Yeah, he's still doing this.
No, I'm saying like this video specifically.
Oh, that video?
It ends right there?
I think it ends right there. I don't know. Maybe he has a YouTube. But I just think his perspective of life is, that shit must be fun, huh? Because when you don't give a fuck and you just want to know, like, if they let you in, you're going in just for the fun of it.
Yeah, I mean, what's the worst case scenario? You go to jail?
And even then, it's just for as long as you don't steal shit. But stealing is a misdemeanor, right?
Yeah.
From stores.
Yeah.
What about from homes or buildings?
I mean, I don't know. I guess if he doesn't
depends
really
on what
keep
you
it,
steal, huh?
And
if you steal sodas and shit, and snacks.
Like if you're out here stealing money and purses and stuff, I think that's bigger crime. But if you're out here taking, like, if you just taking small little items like that, and it's like you can tell because it's a video, he's recording everything.
And there's a video where he has a video where he walks into a building like he belongs there, and then in that same video he has his camera, like if he's playing the game, and he's like, I'm gonna show you how to get past this group of NPCs. He's like, if this happens to you, he's like, I'm gonna show you how to get past them. Like if it's a game, and he's like, you gotta go around
without aggroing them like that.
Yeah, without whatever. He's like, you gotta go around, and he's like, and then he comes back, and he's like, see, that guy's not there no more. He's not there no more. Now we can go through, and he goes through, and it's just funny when how he explains it like it's a game, and how he's living. And I'm like, damn, that's how people need it. I don't know if we should encourage that, but it just seems that it's a fun way to have your view on life, huh? Because he's not taking nothing serious.
Not if he's doing that.
Thank you for listening to the AB podcast. You can follow us in the links below. All our social medias are linked there. If you want to buy some merch, the merch that we're usually wearing in the podcast, you can buy it as well. The link will be below.